Students, in our previous video, we have studied about the qualitative aspects of electrolysis. Now, in this video, we'll study about the quantitative aspect of electrolysis with the help of a topic which is known as Faraday's law. So today we'll talk about Faraday's law and the numericals which are based on Faraday's law. Now in 1833, Michael Faraday developed a relationship between the amount of the substance deposited or liberated at any electrode and the amount of the electricity. Means what is electrolysis? Electrolysis is the decomposition, or electrolysis is the breaking of the ions of electrolyte by the passes of electricity through the electrolytic solution or its molten state. So Michael Faraday established a relationship between the amount of the substance liberated and the amount of the electrolysis, and for this Michael Faraday gave two laws which are collectively known as Faraday's law. So in 1833, Michael Faraday gives two laws which are collectively known as Faraday's law. So we'll study these two laws one by one. First, we'll study the first law. First law of Faraday means Faraday's first law. Now, according to Faraday's first law, the amount of substance deposited or liberated at any electrode is directly proportional to the amount of electricity passed through electrolyte. This is Faraday's first law. So what is Faraday's first law? The amount of substance deposited or liberated at any electrode is directly proportional to amount of electricity passed through electrolyte. आपका जो अमाउंट ऑफ द सब्सटेंस डिपॉजिट हो रहा है या लिबरेट हो रहा है किसी भी इलेक्ट्रोड पे, वो कितना अमाउंट डिपॉजिट या लिबरेट हो रहा है वो किसके डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल होगा? आपने कितनी अमाउंट ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी पास की है थ्रू द इलेक्ट्रोलाइटिक सॉल्यूशन. सो इफ I represent the amount of the substance deposited or liberated by W, and I represent the amount of the electricity passed by Q, then according to this law, W is directly proportional to Q and W equals to ZQ, where Z is known as electrochemical equivalent of the substance which is deposited or liberated, So this is Faraday's first law. The amount of substance deposited or liberated at any electrode is directly proportional to the amount of electricity passed through the electrolyte. W is directly proportional to Q, where W represents the amount of the substance and Q represents the amount of electricity, and W equals to ZQ, where Z is the electrochemical equivalent. Now we'll talk about Faraday's second law of electrolysis. Now according to Faraday's second law of electrolysis, when two electrolytic solution, according to second law, when two electrolytic solution are connected in series, then the amount of the substance deposited amount of the substance deposited at any electrode is equal to its equivalent weight. So according to Faraday's second law, when equal amount of electricity is passed through the two electrolytic solution which are connected in series. In 10th class we have studied about the resistance, and we studied that when the wires are connected in series, when the resistors are connected in series, the current remains same, and when they are connected in parallel, the current varies. So I write here that two electrode solution are connected in series, and when they are connected in series, then the amount of electricity should be the amount of electricity which we supply should be same in both the case. It remains same in both the case. It remains same in both the case. जब भी हम दो इलेक्ट्रोलाइटिक सॉल्यूशन को सीरीज में कनेक्ट करेंगे तो उनके थ्रू जो करंट पास होगा वो क्या होगा, इक्वल होगा. सो व्हेनेवर सिमिलर अमाउंट ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी इज पास्ड थ्रू द टू इलेक्ट्रोलाइटिक सॉल्यूशन व्हिच आर कनेक्टेड इन सीरीज, then the amount of the substance deposited at any electrode is equal to its equivalent weight. Suppose I have two solutions, one is AgNO3 and another one is CuSO4, and these two solutions are connected in series. Means equal amount of electricity is passed through these two solutions. Then the mass of Ag deposited divided by the mass of Cu deposited is equal to the equivalent weight of Ag divided by the equivalent weight of Cu. Equivalent weight of Ag divided by the equivalent weight of Cu. Now how to calculate equivalent weight we have studied in the solution chapter. So according to second law, when two electrolytic solution are connected in series, it means when equal amount of electricity is passed through two electrolytic solution which are connected in series, then the amount of the substance deposited at any electrode is equal to its equivalent weight. This is Faraday's second law. One molar NaCl solution. Now on dissociation, 1 molar NaCl solution gives 1 mole Na positive ion and 1 mole Cl negative ion. Now if I want to convert this 1 mole of Na positive ion into 1 mole of Na, how many electrons I require? Na positive except 1 electron to give Na. It means 1 electron converts 1 Na positive into 1 Na. So if I have to convert 1 mole of Na positive, I required 1 mole of electron, and the charge present in 1 mole of electron. 1 mole of electron is equals to the charge present in 1 electron multiplied by the Avogadro number of electron, because we know that in 1 mole of any substance we have Avogadro number of particles, whether it is atom, molecule or ion, or whether it is electron. So 1 mole of electron means Avogadro number of electron, and the charge present in Avogadro number of electron means multiplying the charge present in 1 electron by the Avogadro number. That is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 multiplied 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. This will come, and on solving this we get 96487 coulomb. 96487 coulomb means this is the charge which is present in 1 mole of electron, And for numerical basis, we convert this into 96500 coulomb, and this charge will equal to 1 Faraday. So this is the concept behind 1 Faraday, that why the value of 1 Faraday is equals to 96500. So what is 1 Faraday basically? 1 Faraday is the charge of 1 mole of electron. 1 Faraday is nothing. 1 Faraday is the charge present in 1 mole of the electron. So here, if I want to convert 1 mole of Na positive into 1 mole of Na, how many charge I have to give, how many amount of electricity I have to give this solution? I have to give 1 Faraday electricity. Why 1 Faraday? Because 1 Faraday is equals to 96500, and 96500 means charge of 1 mole of electron. Now here, if I have the solution CaCl2, if I have the solution CaCl2, so how many Faraday is required to convert, how many Faraday is required to convert 1 mole of Ca2 positive? 1 molar CaCl2, 1 molar CaCl2 solution on dissociation gives Ca2 positive and 2Cl negative. Now for converting Ca2 positive into Ca, I want 2 electrons. So if I have 1 mole of Ca2 positive and I have to convert this Ca2 positive into Ca, how many electrons I want? I want 2 into Avogadro number of electrons. And if I want 2 into Avogadro number of electrons, so the charge which I want, that is into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19, and this is equals to 1 Faraday. So 2 multiplied by 1, that is equals to 2 Faraday. That is equals to 2 Faraday. So this is the logic behind Faraday. So 1 Faraday equals to 96500 coulomb, but this is not the exact value. The exact value is 96487, but for simple calculation we considered this as 96500. Now I'll tell you some formulas which are used to calculate the numericals based on Faraday's law, which are helpful in calculating the numericals based on Faraday's law. First one, we already studied that W equals to Z into Q, where W is the mass, Q is the charge, and Z is the electrochemical equivalent. Second formula is Z equals to equivalent weight of the substance, divided by 96500. This is the second formula. Now because Z is W divided by Q, from this we can say that Z is W divided by Q, so I can write that equivalent weight is equals to W divided by Q into 96500. So with the help of these two formulas, this formula has come. So we have now 3 formulas. Now next formula which you can use while calculating the numericals based on Faraday's law, that is, if I talk about P is equals to V into I, Q equals to I into T, where I is the current and T is the time. So by using these formula, you can calculate or you can solve the numericals which are based on Faraday's law. So now we will solve the numericals based on Faraday's. This is our first question. How much charge is required for the following reduction? So we have to calculate that how many charge is required for the following reduction. So first is, we have 1 mole of Al3 positive. And we have to convert this to 1 mole of Al. And for the conversion of 1 mole of Al3 positive to Al, we have to find that how much charge is required. Now, Al3 positive. If we have 1 Al3 positive accept 3 electron and get converted into 1 Al, means 1 Al3 positive required 3 electron to convert into 1 Al. So 3 electrons means 3 into multiplied by the charge present in 1 electron. that amount of charge is required to convert one Al3 positive into 1 Al, but we have 1 mole of Al3 positive. So 1 mole of Al3 positive, 1 mole of Al3 positive requires 1 mole of 1 mole required 3 mole of electrons. 3 mole of electron. Why 3 mole of electron? Because 1 mole of Al3 positive require 1 Al3 positive require 3 electron. So 1 mole required 3 into Avogadro number of electron, means 3 mole of electron, and then it converted into 1 mole of air. And we know that if we talk about 1 mole of electron, 1 mole of electron carries 96500 charge, but here we require 3 mole of electron, so the charge becomes 3 into 96500 coulomb, which we can write as 3 Faraday. So 1 mole of Al3 positive to Al conversion require 3 Faraday charge. Now if I talk about second, in second I am converting MnO4 negative to Mn2 positive. Now if I calculate the oxidation number here in MnO4 negative, let the oxidation state of Mn be X, plus 4 into minus 2, because minus 2 is the oxidation state of oxygen, is equals to minus 1. Why minus 1? Because this contain minus 1 charge. So x minus 8 equals to minus 1, that is x equals to plus 7. It means the oxidation state of Mn in MnO4 negative is plus 7 and in Mn2 positive it is plus 2. So how many electron it gained while converting this to this? 5 electron, because here it is plus 7 and here it is plus 2. So it gained 5 electron and then it get converted into 2. So 1 MnO4 require 5 electrons to convert into 1 Mn2 positive. So the total charge becomes 5 Faraday. The total charge becomes 5 Faraday. So in this way we will calculate such type of question. Now I'll give you one question and that is a homework for you. How much charge is required for the reduction of 1 mole of Cu2 positive to Cu? This is your homework. You will tell me that how much charge is required to convert 1 mole of Cu2 positive to Cu by using this concept. Now we will do our next question. This is our second question. A solution of CuSO4 is electrolyzed for 10 minutes with a current of 1.5 ampere. We have a solution of CuSO4 and we are passing electricity through this solution for 10 minutes with a current of 1.5 ampere. What is the mass of copper deposited at the electrode? At the cathode, means we have to calculate that what mass is deposited at the cathode. Now here first of all we'll calculate the charge. We'll calculate the charge by using the formula Q is equals to I into T. By using this formula we'll calculate the charge. Here I is 1.5 ampere and T is 10 minutes. We will convert this minute into second. So it becomes 10 into 60, that is 600, and 600 multiplied by 1.5, that is equals to 900 coulomb. It means we are passing 900 coulomb of electricity through copper sulfate solution. And we have to calculate that when we pass 900 coulomb of electricity through this solution, what amount of substance, what amount of copper is deposited at cathode. Now we know that if in overall reaction, Cu2 positive gain 2 electron to give Cu. It means one Cu2 positive requires 2 electron to convert into Cu. So if we have 1 mole of Cu2 positive, so it requires 2 Faraday charge to convert into Cu. It means 2 into 96500 Coulomb. 2 into 96500 Coulomb will liberate 1 mole of Cu. Clear or not? एक Cu को कितने इलेक्ट्रॉन की रिक्वायरमेंट है? 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन टू कन्वर्ट इनटू Cu. 1 Cu2 positive require 2 electron to convert into Cu. So if we have 1 mole of electron, it required 2 into Avogadro number of electrons to convert into 1 mole of Cu. Means 2 into 96500 Coulomb of charge will liberate 1 mole of copper at the cathode, and 1 mole of copper weigh 63.5 gram, because this is equals to the atomic mass. So it means if we have this much amount of charge, we will get 63.5 gram of copper at the cathode. But we have 900 coulomb charge, so 900 coulomb will give 63.5 multiplied by 900 divided by 2 into 96500. Clear? We have 900 coulomb, and from Faraday law we established that if we have 2 Faraday charge, then we get 1 mole of copper. 1 mole of copper means 63.5 gram of copper, but we have how much amount of electricity? 900 coulomb of electricity. So 900 coulomb of electricity will give 0.296 gram of copper. So at the cathode we get 0.296 gram of copper because we have 900 coulomb of electricity. We are passing 900 coulomb of electricity. So in this way we will do this type of question. Now we will do third type of question. This question is in CBSE 2019 paper. Now CrO3 plus 6H positive plus 6 electron gives Cr plus 3H2O. Question is, how many grams of chromium will be electroplated by 24,000 coulomb? Means this is the process, this is the reaction of electroplating. While electroplating of chromium, how many grams of chromium will be electroplated by 24,000 coulomb? And how long will it take to electroplate 1.5 gram chromium using 12.5 ampere current? So we will do these two questions separately. Now first of all we will do the first question. How many grams of chromium will be electroplated by 24,000 coulomb? Now in the question it is clear that if we talk about this chromium, its oxidation number is 0. And if we talk about this chromium, its oxidation number is +6. I hope you all know that how to calculate the oxidation number. If you don't know how to calculate the oxidation number, then let me know. I'll make the video on the oxidation number also. CrO3, the oxidation number is 6, and here Cr, the oxidation number is 0. So for the converting this into this, it requires 6 electrons. Therefore, here it is 6. Now, if one Cr3 positive requires 6 electrons to convert into Cr, then 1 mole of Cr3 positive means 1 mole of CrO3. If one CrO3 requires 6 electrons to convert into 1 Cr, then 1 mole of CrO3 require 6 into Avogadro number of electron. It means 6 into 96500 चार्ज. अगर आपका एक CrO3 को 6 इलेक्ट्रॉन की रिक्वायरमेंट हो रही है 1 Cr में कन्वर्ट होने के लिए, तो 1 मोल ऑफ CrO3 को कितने की रिक्वायरमेंट होगी? 6 into 96500 कूलम चार्ज की. सो जब हम इतने चार्ज को प्रोवाइड करेंगे, यानी जब हम इतनी इलेक्ट्रिसिटी प्रोवाइड करेंगे, सो हमें कितना क्रोमियम मिलेगा? द एवोगैड्रो नंबर एंड द एटॉमिक मास, एंड दैट इज इक्वल्स टू 52 ग्राम. द एटॉमिक मास ऑफ chromium is 52 gram. 1 mole of CrO3 when received this much amount of charge, then it will give 1 mole of chromium, and the mass of 1 mole of chromium is equals to its atomic mass, that is equals to 52 gram. but we have 24,000 coulomb. So 24,000 coulomb will give 52 into 24,000 divided by 96500 into 6 ग्राम. क्लियर? जब हमारे पास इतना अमाउंट ऑफ चार्ज होता हमें 52 ग्राम क्रोमियम मिलता, लेकिन हमारे पास चार्ज कितना है? ओनली 24,000 कूलम. सो हमें कितना ग्राम मिलेगा? दैट विल कैलकुलेट बाय मल्टीप्लाइंग 52 विद 24,000 and then divided with 96500 multiplied by 6. And when we solve this, we get 2 into 15 gram. So we get how many grams of chromium? 2.15 gram of chromium will be electroplated by 24,000 coulomb. In this way, we will get our first answer. Now we'll move to our second answer. That how long will it take to electroplate 1.5 gram chromium using this much amount of current? Current is given to us, the mass is also given to us, and we have to calculate the time. Now, before using the formula, that is Q equals to I into T, we'll first calculate the Q which is required to electroplate this quantity by using this method only. That if 6 into 96500 coulomb gives 52 gram, means 52 gram require this much amount of charge. So 1.5 gram require 6 into 96500 multiplied by 1.5 divided by 52 coulomb charge. 52 ग्राम डिपॉजिट होने के लिए हमें इतने चार्ज की रिक्वायरमेंट है, बट हम डिपॉजिट कितना कर रहे हैं? इलेक्ट्रोप्लेट में कितना हमें रिक्वायर्ड है? 1.5 ग्राम. सो 1.5 ग्राम के लिए कितने चार्ज की हमें रिक्वायरमेंट होगी? दैट इज 6 into 96500 into 1.5 divided by 52. एंड यहाँ पे जो चार्ज आएगा दैट इज इक्वल्स टू 16702 coulomb. That is equals to 16702 coulomb. Now we will apply the formula Q equals to I into T. Here I is 12.5, Q is this, and we have to calculate T. So T equals to Q, that is 16702 divided by 12.5, and when we solve this we get 1336 seconds. So in this way we can calculate both the question, the first one as well as the second one. I think आपको समझ में आया होगा. अगर नहीं आया समझ में, you can rewind the video and watch this question again. So in this way we can able to solve the numericals which are based on Faraday's law. I'll provide you the notes in the description box. Do more and more numericals based on the Faraday's law, and you face any problem, then let me know. I'll solve your problem surely. I'll see you in my next video.